Sagittarius, how you doing? Welcome to your monthly reading of May here on the Astroflower. I'm calling it Moving May because things are really on the move. We saw that in the collective reading as well. We're going to be pulling some cards on for this. So we're going to the overall energy, the karmic messages for your relationship side and material side, week 1, 2, 3, and 4. Also, how the universe influences your karmic message, how your guides influence your karmic message in your past, as it were, and how your future guides are sort of egging you on in the overall outcome. Just a bit of housekeeping before I really sort of start. I'm going to be doing some live readings in conjunction with another channel called Veritas Tarot by Victoria. I will link her channel in the description below, so you can go and subscribe, because then you can ask questions when we're doing the live reading, and we will be answering them together, as it were. Both of us pulling cards, because we have complementary and diverse sort of views on and ideas of how things work and everything like that. So it should give you a really good overall view. As I say, that's going to be coming up in the future, and it's linked in the description below. So let's get into this and see what's going on for you. 9 of Pentacles, Sagittarius, really good reading. Death at the bottom here, death and rebirth. So the 9 of Pentacles is fruits that are coming to fruition, things that are coming to fruition from past actions, basically. But also what's happening here is because it's coming together. So basically, if I've planted a seed and I've nurtured the plant and I've nurtured the fruits as they've grown up, make sure everything's okay. And at the time of fruition, I realize that I'm now in this harmonious sort of rhythm with life itself. And I end up sort of getting in harmony with everything that is around me. And this is what the 9 of Pentacles is about as well, is of being, being in harmony with everything around you, almost like a messages that come in for you that sort of like make you feel at ease and at one with everything that is around you. Looks like it's going to be a good month for you. Yeah, a really good month for you. So let's see what's going on your relationship side. Now, this is on your karmic message. I want to say that obviously you're carrying too much. I'm not sure it is totally that. I think it is also, I think it's a more of a, because this is the karmic message. It's not really about you of what you're doing. It's what you should be accomplishing within you or understanding within you. And I think here is a situation where you've accumulated a lot of things over the past, which is you can serve within your relationships. And maybe it's now a time to start using the things that you've accumulated within your relationships around you. You've got the universe, and in the first week here, the Page of Swords. So bright ideas coming from you, light bulb moments in a way, where you sort of kind of realize, get ideas that comes also through learning as well, sort of like converting ideas into reality. That's what it's a little bit about. And in order to convert those ideas into reality, you've got to use all the, the stuff that you've accumulated. And it's not just physical stuff here. This is also sort of passions and how you've installed those in passions in every other sort of relationships that are around you. It's going to, this first week here is going to open up bright ideas about how to use all that sort of abundance in a way of understanding of, you can't take on any more, and you've got to start sort of allowing those emotions out of you. It's going to put you in a very powerful position in the second week. I will say that most signs, and there seems to be something going on between the 14th and the 21st of May. And I will be doing another reading in this coming out in the future. But in the second week here, you step into your power. And stepping into your power is because you know your limitations, or you've conquered your empire. And your empire is your physical space, your physical being, your emotional being, but also your energetic being, and you've got control over that. You're in that emperor position of that, and that's what makes you sit within your power. And the best thing about that is when you do that, you actually start empowering other people, because you become like a barometer for things around you, like a yardstick, a meter stick as well. It's like a measure that people measure up to. And I think in the second week here, if you convert these ideas into reality and start sort of shedding some of the stuff that you've been carrying too much of, I think you're going to be in a position where people are going to start really noticing your strengths. And as they do notice your strength, it's going to make you feel even stronger about who you are and where you're going and what you're doing. It gives you real conviction within your relationships that are around you. Then you get the 8 of Wands. A lot of messages that come in from those lovely ideas. And as you sit in your power, there is something that's going on here. And could be a lot of passionate messages that come into your life at the moment, which gives you that clarity and that sense, the ascentive sort of like the not ascentive. What is the word I'm looking for? The will to follow through and do what you're supposed to be doing in regards to your relationships. It could be communication. People around you, within the relationships around you, now starting to communicate with you, opening up those ideas which came through in the first week here, and it gives you the incentive. Yeah, I think that's the word I was looking for. The incentive to really push the envelope, to really take this to a new level. And I think this is what you want out of life. I think you want your relationships to mean a lot more, to be a lot more fused, to be a lot more connected, to be in harmony, in sync, those sort of things. And it's been lacking a little bit over the last couple of months maybe for you. And this is where the messages come in, which give you that sensation of synchronization and that oneness. Yeah, and it's going to make it very, very sociable for you within the last week. The overall outcome for all of this is once you start sort of unladening all that stuff that you've been carrying, all of a sudden you're going to be opening up, I think, new relationships, new connections, new friends, new family, that sort of thing. Just connecting with people that you haven't really connected with before, and in a really sort of like sociable way, in a celebratory sort of way for you. Okay, and this comes out of those messages as well. So, and it really does feed in as well to that 9 of Pentacles and the feeling in harmony and at one with everything that is around you, simply because you've already put in the work in the past. On your material side, you get the King of Cups. So this is different to this side totally. It's almost as if like you've got the measure of your emotions on this side. And this is where you've got to, in the financial sort of world, within your job, within your business and your projects, you've got to have a bit of measure over how you apply your emotions in that sort of world there. And not getting carried away with your emotions is probably a really good thing for you. In the first week, you have the Page of Cups. You've got now 2 pages on both sides here. The universe is really sort of saying, time to learn. And it's almost, in your material side here, it's believing in those miracles. Having control over your emotions is going to bring you that ideal job, bring you that business that's going to take life to a completely different level, or open the door to projects which is built upon sort of expression, an emotional sort of side, but without being emotionally too attached to things, but just really believing in a project or believing in something that is really compelling for you in the first week. It opens that sort of door. And then we get the Queen of Swords. So she also has a control over her emotions. She gets this direction because she's examined her emotions and she's got control over them. And then all of a sudden, all the elements are actually working in her favor. That's blowing. It's like the wind that's blowing behind the boat, and you've got the big sail out the front, which we call the spinnacle. And that spinnaker is pulling you along. When you're doing that, I should do quite a bit of sailing. I love sailing, and when you're doing that with the spinnaker, you can't, because you're almost getting the same speed as the wind. All of a sudden, there's no more wind on the boat, and it doesn't list to one side or the other. It's just been pulled forward, and that's what it seems like for you, and that's what comes in for this harmony with everything that is around you, because you're believing in something here. And okay, and this is this 14th to the 21st. There's obviously something. I don't necessarily think it's walking away from something. It's more a case of walking towards something. That's what it seems like there. Walking towards the new you, and it's letting go of the old paradigm, which we saw in the collective reading. Look at all these cards just flying out all over the place. Justice, temperance. There's too many, obviously, to go through here, but you're walking towards something, walking towards happiness, apparently, walking towards the sun, walking towards happiness within your life, because you've got this clarity through the emotions here. And with that clarity through the emotions, you're believing in something that's going to take things to a new level. And it's almost as if there's something that goes on in the world around you that just kind of goes, I've had enough of that. I'm going down there because I believe in that, and I believe in that that project, or it seems like project, or could be a business or something like that within that side, or it could be believing within that job that you do, and you get that justice. Did I not say justice earlier on? I did shuffle it, but yeah, justice. Out of that, as you do start walking towards it, you're going to feel. Absolutely, you're going to feel like you've regained harmony within your life. You've regained harmony within the world that is around you, and you're getting your just desserts because you believe. Basically, let's just do a bit of clarification here. Very good, I think, for the overall outcome on your material side. A real transition, a moving May, which is what I keep calling it. And you get the Page of Cups up there as well. So you've got this Page of Cups, which goes through the King of Cups, and also through the Page of Cups through to the Knight, to the Eight of Wands. So yeah, I think this belief comes out of, she's got one bird there, so that's all about that communication and connecting with everything around it. And it's funny that she's also holding up a fish. And believing in the miracles of life, because you're going to be connected to everything, and I think it's really good for you. It's a really good month that builds upon you. It's all about you, I think, this month here. Yeah, the Ten of Wands. With the Ten of Wands, you get the Fool card. So with the Ten of Wands, it is the end of a journey. The Ten of Wands. It's the accumulation of things, as I say, and it's throwing caution to the wind, getting rid of all those sort of weights that you might have been carrying with you, in order to explore life in a much more open and very sort of sociable way, and very communication sort of way, sitting very much within your power, And then with the Page of Swords, we get the Ace of Pentacles. As I said, like light bulb moments and ideas, and converting them through learning, and bringing the idea into reality. And that's the reality you're bringing in. You're bringing in the physical connection with a relationship that is around you, which provides seeds and growth for a really beautiful future. Almost a sensation of victory out of the whole sort of thing. Because you've taken that leap of faith and believed, and this is what's coming through a lot, is believing in yourself. It's all about you, this sort of thing. And then we got the Page of Swords, which is redoing this as well. So we got 2 Page of Cups and we got 2 Pages of Swords. There is a learning process here. And I think it's how as well as which you combine your work and your play side of life. You know, let's just have a quick look at your sacrum. Let's just see what's going on there. Yeah, it does need to have a little bit of balance, a little bit more sort of balance of work and play ethic. And I think that you're going to realize that, and then you're going to get that message that comes into you, which is going to straighten that whole sort of thing out and realize that life is for living, you know, and yeah, work and job and business and stuff like that is all part of living. But at the same time, so is socializing and connecting with people that are around you. It's also very important. Let's just see what's going on with that. So we now got 2 aces coming out in the clarification. With these messages that come through, all of a sudden, it's going to dispel the mists that are around the mountains. So, which is your objectives, as far as I can see. Sometimes people look at mountains as you know, sort of things that blocking your path. But I don't look at it like that. I look at it like a challenge. It's very much like the hermit, you know, goes round the mountain to get to the top to actually take that star out of the sky and put it in his lantern. And as he goes round the shadow side of the mountain as well. And he's got to accomplish this. And it's going to become a real achievement. And I think this is what's happening here, is these messages are coming through, which is giving you that sort of sensation of I'm winning, which we've come up here in the first week as it is. And within this third week, it's the sensation of winning, but it's also of sort of cutting through the mist, cutting through your doubt in a way, and really striking out of going forward. With the 8 of Cups, you get the King of Pentacles. Within this new connection with other people, this social connection that you're going to be happening in the 4th week, it's going to make you feel even more secure through knowledge. That's what the King of Pentacles is all about, and Knight of Pentacles wanting to come out, and it's a change for a longer term goal in a way, a longer term cycle within you, and it reiterates the sort of Emperor card as well. It's all about you this month here, of really setting you and setting yourself in a beautiful position, and concentrating on you this month, which I think has been a bit of your downfall in the past because you haven't concentrated on you. Now it's opened up. It's good to concentrate on you. Let's see what's going on the financial side. As I said, the Hermit earlier on, going through round the mountains and etc. The Hermit is that sort of, it's discovered all the dark sides of itself, and which is giving him that harmony or control over your emotions. And as you approach your sort of karmic path of what you should be doing, you should be emotionally, stable within yourself when you do this sort of questioning, and also know what your desires are, because the Hermit has grabbed that star. In a lot of cards, it's got that, the Hermit's got that lantern, holding a lantern, and it's got a star in it because it's gone up the mountains to get that star and discovered a lot of things about yourself. It's good work, well done on yourself. And that's what I think I saw in the last month in your readings as well. Do you know that's the first 5 of Pentacles? Everyone's been getting 5 of Pentacles apart from you. And this is the first time we see the 5 of Pentacles. And every single other sign, every single other one has got 5 of Pentacles in the main reading. And you haven't had it, which is quite interesting. But it does play it here. In order to believe in the future, you've really got to quell your... you don't really want to look at your weaknesses. You want to concentrate on your strengths. And it may seem like you're being a little bit shut out of it. And I think it's almost voluntary from your side because you want to get things done. So you don't want to get involved in too many other things, too many other aspects within your career path, within your job or your business. So, you might not connect 100% with your colleagues in your workspace because you want to get on your career path. And it's almost like a blessing in disguise. People may look at you and sort of kind of go, Sagittarius, they're not really talking, they're not really sociable. No, because you're concentrating. And you're trying to get ahead of the game, as it were. And people are going to realise that. So with the Queen of Swords, you get the Six of Swords. It's almost as if your past self, is that twice that's happened now? I think it is. Your past self has done this work on the emotional side of life. You've done this work on the emotional side of life, which given you that harmony, which allows for everything to be in sync with everything. So it pulls you forward. And as I was saying earlier on about the spinnaker, that almost looks like the spinnaker there. Those swords are the spinnaker. And it's the wind that's blowing behind you. So it's pulling you from one side to another without having to do too much effort yourself and not feel like you're majorly in the wind. And you can manifest a really good, beautiful path that is in front of you. She's also the person that is in the craft or the pontoon, as it were, the punt, as it were. She's usually carrying a child, so she's carrying this possibilities for tomorrow, and it's all of a sudden you do it. She's leaving somewhere to go somewhere, and that's what the Queen of Swords is also about. Taking a direction and a clear direction for you, and taking that direction will lead you into the Eight of Cups of walking away from something. But I think it's more a case where you're walking towards something rather than walking away from something, if you know what I mean. I think that's what comes across for me anyway. What do you Seven of Swords? So you got the Eight of Cups clarified by the Seven of Swords. Playing smart. I wouldn't start shouting about it. If you were thinking of, say, like leaving a job because you wanted to forward your career path or get another job, you may not want to sort of shout about it within the office space. And I think this is where you're keeping yourself to yourself as well. There may be, you may be concocting something, a change that is happening. And this is what that Justice card that's bringing for you. An opportunity arises as you walk towards what you ultimate goals of what you really want to be doing, because that's what's coming out in the Hermit card as well. And you're gonna have reason about this, and it's gonna within that reason, it's gonna make you feel harmonious about your future. It's gonna make you fall in love with your life, make you fall in love with what you're doing. I think there's a real project that's you hold dear to your heart coming up through you. And I wouldn't ignore it. I really wouldn't ignore it. But you've got to play a little bit smart in order to get the best out of it. Excuse me. So really, really nice month. It's all about you this month, Sagittarius. Really is all about you this month. So thank you very much for being here. Don't forget, we did have the collective reading on our channel, and also I will be doing those live readings with Victoria on Veritas Tarot as well. So as I say, her channel's linked in the description, so you can get over there and prepare yourself for asking us questions that we can answer. And it could be to do with chakras and aura as much as anything about pulling cards. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I will see you soon. Thank you very much for your support, and I do hope you get the best out of this reading. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.